be starting our new topic today, that is vendor master. So in the vendor master, the topics that we are going to cover, they are we will see what is vendor master, what data is maintained in the vendor master, we will see. Then in the system we will cover how to create the vendor master. In the system we will see how the vendor master is created and what are the different organizational levels in the vendor master. We will cover that. Then we will understand what is account group, and what is its importance. Then we will see what is one-time vendor, how it is created, how it is used. Then we will see reconciliation account for a vendor. We will understand that, and we will see what is partner roles and their functions. We will cover that, and then we will see how to create a vendor with reference. That means creating a vendor with using another vendor. Okay, and finally we will see blocking or deleting the vendor. Okay, and then configuration related to vendor master. So these are the topics we will be covering in the vendor master. Okay, so who is a vendor? Okay, who is a vendor? Vendor is a person or an organization who supplies materials to us. Correct, Poonam? Am I correct? Who is a supplier? Who is a vendor?
Yeah. Yes. Correct.
Vendor is a person or an organization who provides a material or a services to us. Correct?
Yes.
Correct. Oh, so that's what. Okay. So the vendor master. Now the vendor master contains information about the vendors that supply materials or services to an enterprise. So vendor master contains about information about that vendor, that supplier. Okay, so the information about a vendor is stored in individual vendor master record. So information about that particular vendor or supplier will be stored in this particular vendor master. So normally the vendor master will contain like vendor name, his address, okay, his address, the currency used for ordering from the vendor, okay, in what currency we are going to order that vendor, okay, and what is the terms of payment, and who are the names of important contacts person in that supplier organization. All this information we will be maintaining in the vendor master. Okay, so vendor master will contain information about that particular particular vendor supplier. Okay, so vendor master data normally will be stored in 3 sections. Whatever the data you maintain in the vendor master, it will be stored in 3 sections. One is general data. In this section you will maintain what is the vendor address, his communication like his phone number, his fax, email ID, and some control data. I'll show you this in the system. Bank information like what is his bank account number, what is the bank key, bank branch, and who are the contact person in that organization, okay, whom to contact with him, his telephone numbers. All those things will be maintained in the general data. Now some data will be maintained in the company code section. So here you will maintain finance related data like what is its GL account, reconciliation account, how the payment transactions has to be done, withholding tax. All these things will be maintained in the company code data. Next one, some data is maintained at purchase organization data like purchasing data, okay, and then you have partner roles. All these things will be maintained. So vendor master data basically divided into 3 sections: general data section, company code data, okay, purchasing organization data. Okay, so this is the one. So now we will go and create the vendor master in the system. Okay, so Poonam, where you are located actually? Delhi, right? If I remember correctly.
I don't know you know about the Delhi places or not. It's from Saket.
Okay, so basically Delhi, right? Basically Delhi. Okay?
Yeah, basically Delhi. Yeah.
Okay. So we will create the vendor master. So the transaction code to create the vendor master is XK01. This is the create. Okay, create the vendor. To create the vendor master, the transaction code is XK01. Change it is XK02. Okay, and then display is XK03. Okay, display is xk03. So these are the transaction codes we have to create, change and display. Okay, so now we will go and create the vendor master. Before that, let me check. Let's say yesterday we created some materials, hydrochloric acid and all those materials. Now for that material, I'll check a vendor. Let's say in the Delhi area. In the Delhi area,
Yeah, yeah.
I'll check a vendor. I'll check a supplier who can supply that material. Okay, let me check. Okay, suppliers of uh, let's say sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid in Delhi. In Delhi. In Delhi. Sorry. In Delhi. Okay. So let's say I'll take this. Okay. So let's say okay. So Alliance Global. Let's say this is the company, or let's say we'll take this Plus Chemicals. Plus Chemicals is a organization from which we are going to buy this sulfuric acid. So this person will become a vendor to us. This organization will become a vendor to us, supplier to us. So now we will create his data in our system. So let's log on. Let's create it. Okay, I'm logging on to the system. Okay, I logged on to the system. Okay, so go to logistics, go to materials management. Okay, purchasing, go to purchasing. Here you have a folder called master data. Okay, here you have vendor. So open it. Vendor, here you have central. Okay, xk01. So this is our. Here you are on this screen. Create vendor. So don't give the vendor code. System will assign the vendor code automatically. Give the company code. We already discussed what is company code. Okay, so I am creating this vendor for the company code 1000, and the purchasing organization is also 1000. Okay, now you have to, whenever you are creating the vendor, you need to provide the account group. Okay, what is this account group? I'll come to, we'll discuss in a minute. As of now, I'll assign a account group called kred vendor. Kred, this account group I'll assign. Okay, so once you assign this, just click on the button continue, enter. Okay. Okay, once
Sir,
you
here I don't know. Account group, we are creating a new vendor. So
oh,
account group will take already which is available in our master data.
yes,
Is it
account group
so?
which is already available in the system, that we are taking it. I'll come to
So
account
how
group.
we will select, how we can select, in what terms we can select that account group?
Yeah, I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that how to select
Okay,
account. I'll tell you
okay.
that. Okay. So now, once you enter, system will take you to the address data. So now we are here. We are maintaining the general data. We are maintaining the general data like address, communication, control data, all those things. Okay. So let's say this is our vendor. Okay, this is our vendor. Okay, he is our vendor. Plus Chemicals India. Okay. So select title, company. Okay. Put it as plus chemicals India Private Limited. Okay, so this is the vendor from which we are going to purchase some materials, procure some materials. So this is his name. Okay, give the search term. Tomorrow I want to search the vendors with having name plus. So that search short text you give it here. Okay, now you can maintain his address over here. His address. Okay, so his address here, what it is, his address number 5925 by 26, 5925 by 26. Okay, I'll maintain that. Here I'll maintain number, what was the number? 5925 5925 oblique 26
26, yeah.
26, and first floor.
Bus,
You can put it,
bus.
first floor. Okay, and what it is? Sardar Thana.
Sadar Thana Road.
Okay, so I'll maintain here Sardar Thana Road. Thana ROAD Road. Okay, you can maintain the postal code also if it is having postal code double one
1100
triple 006 double one triple zero
return
six.
0.
You can maintain that. Country you can maintain as India. From the list you can select country. Okay, from the list you can select country. IND you can select from the list. Okay, now region, enter. Okay, this is okay. Okay, India, country India has come. Region you can select it. The region is having Delhi, you can select it. Delhi is not there here. Delhi is there. So region you select. Okay, so once we enter the data, scroll down. Here you can maintain his telephone number. Okay, you can maintain his telephone number, like you can maintain as +91. You can maintain some number, the 1111, like this you can maintain his fax number. All those things you can maintain. So here you will maintain his address data. Okay, once this is maintained, just click on the button next screen. Okay, enter. Next, here this is the control data. Here you will maintain his tax relevant data, his tax number, his GST tax number. All those things you can maintain here. If you have it, you can maintain here. Okay, otherwise you can go to the next screen. Just go to the next screen. Okay, now payment transaction is bank relevant information. So here select the country key. Country key is India. Country key India. Country key India. Maintain the bank key. Okay, in the country key, in the country India, there are some bank. Let's say he is having account with HDFC Bank. Okay, we have any Delhi branch over here. These bank keys will be created by what do you call, finance people. Okay, as of now, let me select near one. Delhi is not there. Let me select Chandigarh one. He is having a account with OBC. Okay, you can maintain the account number like 98745684452 something. I'm randomly maintaining. Okay, you can maintain country, is bank key, nothing but IFSC code. It's nothing but IFSC code and his bank account number. Okay, so all this you will be maintaining over here. Now account holder name also you can maintain. Okay, same thing you can maintain here. Plus Chemicals India Private Limited. Okay, you can maintain it here. So once this bank information key is maintained, just click on the button next screen. So here contact person, who is the contact person in that organization. So when you are purchasing the material from that vendor, you are going to deal with a particular person in that organization. So that person name you can maintain here. So his first name, let's say Vijay, Vijay, Vijay Thakur, like this you can maintain. His all that information you can maintain. Okay, once that maintained, just click on the button next screen. Okay, now here you will be maintaining the data. Now we have completed general data. Now next one you will be maintaining company code data. Okay, so the moment when I go to the next screen, here you can see the company code is coming. So this means you are going to maintain the finance relevant data. So here enter the reconciliation account. As of now, I'll enter a reconciliation account. Okay, I'll enter this one. I'll tell you what is this reconciliation in a minute. Okay, then maintain cash management group. I maintained that. Enter. Okay, now payment terms. Now when the vendor supplies the material to us, we are going to make some payment to him. So how the payment terms is defined. Okay, so if you go here, these are the payment terms which are already available in the system. Okay, so let's say I'll assign this payment term within 14 days 3% cash discount. So I have to make the payment to the vendor. Once he supplies the material, I have to make the payment within 14 days. So that is the agreement I have with the vendor. So that payment term I maintained. Next screen, nothing is mandatory. Okay, just you can maintain here who is the clerk at the vendor side. What is it say? What is his telephone number, his fax. That also you can maintain. So let's say clerk at this place is 7. Okay, you can maintain his telephone number, you can maintain his fax number. All those things you can maintain here. Now just click on enter. It will take you to the next screen. Now we are into purchasing data, purchasing organization data. Okay, we are into the purchase organization data. So order currency, in which currency we are going to pay to him. So I'll select as of now INR. INR, Indian rupees. Okay, so just go back. I entered INR. Then terms of payment, again enter the terms of payment, same thing. Incoterms, what is Incoterms? Okay, so Incoterms is a international delivery rules, how he has to deliver the product material to us. So that Incoterms we have to maintain here. Okay, as of now I'll maintain COD. Okay, cash on delivery. I entered. Okay, done. Now it will take you to the partner details. Okay, partner details I'll come to in a minute. Now here it will assign the partner details. Now once all the data is entered, enter. Now system is asking, should the data be saved first? Yes, I want to save the data. Yes. Okay, so now system will create a vendor. Okay, see, system has created a vendor. The vendor code is 100644. The vendor code is 100644. So system has created vendor. Okay, now how to see the vendor data? So once the vendor is created, now if you see, when I go to display mode, you see there is a general data section, there is a company code data section, there is a purchasing organization data section. Okay, so now if you want to see all the information, click on this button, select all. Now when you click on enter, you can see all the data. Okay, see now all the data you can see here. So first this is address data. Click on, either you can click on enter or you can click on this button, next screen. It will take you to all the data. Okay, you can see all the
As
data.
you said, that display for display we have to put the XK03 in that
Yes,
case.
XK03. Yes, XK03 display. Yes.
So you just click on the short key from here. So we can it already selected. That's why you click on that button, or always will have to put the XK03.
No. Either when you are on XK04, when you are on XK01, you are on XK01. When you are on XK01, now let's say I want to go to display. Either you can go to vendor display from here like this, or you go back, go to the fresh screen, you put it as XK03 directly here. Both you can do.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so
Thank
now
you.
here I want to see, let's say I want to see only company code data. I want to see only company code data and general data. So then deselect purchasing data and partner function options. Now go inside. Now it will show you only company code data only. Enter. Now on the company code data, enter. See, now it is exiting. Now it is asking you to exit. Yes. So which data you want to see, that you will select here. That is the sections: general data, company code data, and purchasing data. Okay, and at the same time you can see the vendor data. You can create centrally also, or separately possible also. Okay, so when you are, if you want to create vendor data, you can create centrally through XK01 transaction, which I just showed you. With this transaction you can create all the three: general data, purchase organization data, and accounting data. All the three you can create. But I want to create separately. Let's say in your organization, purchasing department is different and finance department is different. Okay, so accounting data will be maintained by finance department, purchasing data will be maintained by purchase organization. So you can create separately also. Okay, so I'll show you that how to create separately. Okay, if you go here, go back here, see MK01. If you go to MK01, see, it is only showing you vendor, purchase organization, and accounting group. So here you will be maintaining only purchasing organization data with general data. Of course, general data is common for all. So here you can create with purchasing organization data. So either you can create separately, or you can create centrally also. That is also possible. Okay, so that is the material master, vendor master organizational levels. Okay,
Sir,
either you
here we use MK01 or XK01 for purchasing data.
MK01.
MK01
MK01 is the purchasing
So
organization.
same will remain changed for MK02, display for
Yes,
MK03
yes.
for
It will
purchasing or organization.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so now the next one is vendor master account group. Vendor master account group. Okay, so what is this vendor master account group? Okay, so vendor master account group means when we are creating the vendor, XK01, when we are creating this vendor, we are giving this account group. Okay, so these are account groups. There are so many account groups. We used this account group KRED. Okay, so what is this account group? Basically what it will do. Okay, so when creating a vendor master record, you must decide which account group you are going to assign to this vendor. Okay, so vendor account group will tell you what type of vendor you are creating. You are creating a normal vendor or a one-time vendor, okay, or a invoicing party, only invoicing party, or only the good supplier. All those things will be decided by account group. So account group has control functions like it will control the type of number assignment, internal or external, and number area. Okay, that means when I created this vendor, I created a new vendor, right? If I go to display, I created this vendor. When I created this vendor, system only has assigned the number, right? Correct. System only
Yes.
has assigned this number.
Assign the
So
number. Yeah.
so that number is assigned because of in the account group they maintain it as internal numbering. Same like our previous material master. Okay, so they might have maintained like this internal numbering. Our vendor number has come like this. What was the vendor number? Vendor number is this one. Okay, so this is our vendor number. So in the internal numbering you might have got like this. They might have maintained number range like this. Okay, number interval they might have got like this: 10012 to 199999. They might have maintained the number interval like this. Okay, as the number interval is maintained like this, system is assigning the number from this interval. Okay, and it is internal numbering. So this numbering will be controlled by that account group. Okay, and another one is field selection. So when we are creating the material vendor, which fields are ready for user input, which fields must be maintained, and which fields are hidden, this is also controlled by field selection. Okay, and one more thing is which partner schemas are valid. I'll tell you this partner details. I'll discuss in a minute. Okay, and the status, whether it is a one-time vendor or a regular vendor, that is also determined by all this account group. So basically account group will control all these functions. One is number interval, which I should just showed you. Type of number assignment, whether internal or external. In our case, system only assigned the number, so this is an internal numbering. Okay, and what are the partner schemas available? Okay, that is also controlled by account group. Field selection, which when we went into the vendor creation, system was asking to enter the data in only certain fields. So that field configuration is done in the vendor master. Now its status, whether it is a normal vendor or a one-time vendor. We will discuss one-time vendor in a minute. We will discuss that. Okay, so and of course vendor specific plan data. All these are controlled by your account group. That is the importance of account group. Okay, now the next one is one-time vendor. So what is this one-time vendor? Okay, in your organization, let's say you want to procure a material from a vendor only one time. After that you are not going to do purchase activity from that vendor. So just for one-time procurement, just for procuring for one time, you creating the vendor master record, it's just simply what you call doesn't make any sense. Okay, it just for one-time procurement, why you want to create the vendor master data? Okay, so for that, to avoid that kind of thing, you create a one-time vendor. So when you create a one-time vendor, you will not give the address and his city, all those things you will not give. Okay, and when you create a purchase order for that vendor, system will ask you to enter his address. Okay, that is what called one-time vendor. You will be procuring from that vendor only one time. So what you will do, you create a common vendor code. You create a common vendor code for all the one-time vendors. Let's say these are the vendors from which I will be purchasing only one time. Okay, so instead of creating code for each and every vendor separately, you create a common one-time vendor and you will use that. Okay, so I'll show you how to create one-time vendor. So when you create a one-time vendor, you will not be maintaining the address. Okay, so again we will go back to the xk01. One create vendor. Here I will select different account group. Okay, so I will select one-time vendor. Here you have CPD, one-time vendor internal number assignment. So this account group now I am selecting CPD. Now the moment I select this,
Sir,
okay,
CPD, what the full form would be CPD? I mean, how we can finalize that we can use?
that will be available in the configuration. When we go to configuration,
Okay.
we are now discussing in the front end part. After this we will go to the back end part. Okay, so here I'll put one-time vendor. Just as a name. Okay, I'll put one-time vendor. Search time also one time. I'll put this. Okay, now here no need to maintain any address. Data. Without address data you can go. Okay, vendors found with same address. Okay, already it is there. Okay, let's put one-time vendor with one. Okay, enter. Now see, the moment I selected a different account group, screens are also coming differently. Are you able to see? Screens are also different. Enter. See, all the screens are different. Contact person name also I will not maintain. Enter. Reconciliation account, if you want to maintain, enter. Payment terms, if you want to maintain. Okay, nothing. Just order currency, INR, enter. All done. Now it is not asking for partner functions. Previously it was asked partner functions. Now it is not asking. Now save it. Yes. Okay, continue. Okay, so now your one-time vendor is created. 100645 is a one-time vendor. Now if you go to change mode, select this vendor. Okay, select this vendor. So when you are creating a purchase order with this vendor, now you see what will happen. So I'm creating a purchase order. The transaction code is ME21N. Okay, we will discuss about this purchase order creation and all in our further classes. Don't worry. Okay, just what you do, enter the vendor number here. Okay, header data, go to purchase organization, purchasing group, company code. I entered it. Let's say I want to procure a material. I'll select the material which we created in the previous class. Just 1 minute. 1000 we created raw material, right? Yesterday. We created this what do you call sulfuric acid. So let's say I'll take this sulfuric acid. Okay, now I'll enter it here. I'll enter, let's say I want to procure 100 liter to this plant. Okay, enter. Okay, done. Net price it is asking. Don't worry about this transaction. We will discuss this in detail in our further classes. Don't worry. Just I am showing you how one-time vendor will work. Okay, so I'll maintain price here. Enter. Okay, done. Now when I check on this button, when I click on this check button, what's happening? What message you are getting? Please first maintain vendor address. As this is a one-time vendor, system will ask you to enter the vendor address over here only in the purchase order. So if you go here, address tab, here you have to maintain the address. Even if you maintain the address in the one-time vendor, it will not get copied over here because this is a one-time vendor. So when you are creating the PO, you will maintain this address over here and then you will save the PO because this is a one-time. You are procuring from this vendor only one time. Only we have a common code attached to that vendor. Okay, so this is what called one-time vendor. Okay, clear? One-time vendor. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so now the next one we will be discussing is reconciliation account for vendor master. reconciliation account for vendor master. Okay, so what is this reconciliation account? So reconciliation account means it is the GL account to which your accounts are posted. Okay, so when we are procuring from a material from a vendor, we will be doing the payment to the vendor. Okay, we will be making the payment to the vendor. So when the invoice bill is received, we will make the payment to the vendor. That payment details will be posted to this reconciliation account. Okay, so vendor payment details will be posted to this reconciliation account. Vendor, that reconciliation is nothing but reconciliation account is nothing but GL account. GL account. Okay, so these GL accounts will be provided by your finance team. Finance team will provide your GL account. They will provide that you have to enter here, that you need to maintain here. So I will go to change mode again. The vendor which we created. Okay, here this is the vendor we created. Just go to the next screen, next screen, next screen, next screen. Here you have the reconciliation account. So if you click on the list, all these reconciliation accounts are available. Okay, so the suitable reconciliation account you need to assign to the vendor. So when you do the invoice verification, the amount details will be posted to this GL account. That is what reconciliation account. It is maintained at company code level. Okay, it is a finance relevant data, company code level. Okay, so that is the reconciliation account. Now the next one we will be discussing is partner function. Okay, so what is this partner function? If you go to our vendor master which we created, if I go back, I'll go back again. I will go inside. Okay, again I will go inside. Enter, 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 enter. Now if you go here, you see the partner functions here: ordering address, vendor, invoicing party, and goods supplier. Okay, so let's say I'll tell you what is this partner functions. So partner functions are the terms that describe the people and organizations with whom you do business and who are therefore involved in transaction. Okay, so for example, let's say for example during a procurement transaction, the vendor is the first order recipient, but then the supplier of goods and finally the invoicing part are different, might be. Okay, I'll tell you, I'll give you example. Let's say you are working with a very big organization. Your vendor is a very big organization. Your vendor, your supplier. Okay, he is having his head office in Delhi. Okay, Delhi, New Delhi. But when you give the order to him, you give it to the head office, but the goods will be supplied, the goods supplier, the goods will be supplied from, okay, let's say Noida office, Noida plant. Okay, all these are these vendors locations only, but you give the order to the head office, but the goods will be supplied from their Noida plant. Okay, now let's say your invoice, then after that you have to, he will be sending his invoice. Okay, invoice will be sent from, okay, let's say they have a office in Chandigarh. So from the Chandigarh office they will be sending the invoice. So in the same organization, different places they will assume different roles. So those are called partner functions. So it is, if you see here, you see here, in the same organization, one plant person will receive the order. Okay, and in the same organization from a different place they will supply the goods to you. Okay, and invoice will be sent from some other plant, some other location, and you will be making the payment to a head office like this. So all these are called partner functions. Okay, so this partner function details you can maintain over here if you want. Here you can maintain. Now if you see here, ordering address same, vendor same, invoicing party same, but goods supply will be done from a, let's say, separate plant. So what I will do, I'll search for a goods supplier. So if I go to xk02, if I go to xk02, or let me go to xk01, xk01. Okay, I'll go here. I'll create a new vendor with goods supplier. Okay, goods supplier. Here you are able to see there is a account group with goods supplier. So his role is only to supply the goods, not the other roles. So I'm creating with goods supplier. A number range is not assigned. Okay, I'll put goods supplier. I'll maintain external numbering. Goods supplier. Okay, account number incorrect. There is some problem. Okay, I'll do one thing. I'll go to display mode. I'll select the vendor with that account group. Okay, vendor with account group is not there. Vendor by class, just 1 minute. Vendor by material. Okay, revenue type, just 1 minute. Vendors general, country, company code. This is okay. Plant reference, plants only we have. Okay, account group is not there. Huh? Okay, I'll enter a separate account vendor for this. Okay, vendor by material. Just one. Let us search with one. Retail plant. Okay, let's try to enter this vendor code 3750. Let's see what happens. 3750. 3750. Let's see what happens. Vendor has not been created. Okay, so if that goods supplier is a different one, goods supplier, it is not taking here from here. Okay, 1000 purchase organization. Okay, let me enter a different vendor code, or let me enter this 51000. 51000. Flagged for deletion. Okay, not a problem. Okay, so like this, from this vendor, all these things you will done by this vendor, but only the goods supplier from a different location, that location has been created as a separate vendor, so that you can assign it here. So this is the partner function. Within the same organization, different units will have different roles, so that you will put it with partner functions. Okay, now save it. So that is what called partner functions, partner roles. Okay, so understanding the concepts is very important, Poonam. Okay, understanding the concepts
Yes.
is, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
so now the next one is we'll be discussing is create vendor with reference. Creating the vendor with reference. That means when you are creating a vendor, you can copy from the existing vendor. Okay, so when you do that copy, what system does is system will not copy the address of that reference vendor, but it will copy all the remaining data. Okay, when you are creating a vendor, new vendor, you can copy from the reference vendor, another vendor, but when you do that, the address of the reference vendor will not get copied to the new vendor, but his control data will get copied. Okay, address will not get copied. That is
Bank
what.
detail, reconciliation data, all data will copied, but
Yes,
except
yes.
address will not copy.
Except address. Yes. Except
Okay.
address will not get copied. Okay. So I'll show
Okay.
you that. I'll show you that how to do that. Okay. So let's create a new vendor now. Let's create a new vendor xk01. I'll create a new vendor. Okay. Now again, I'll select the same account group krad. Okay. And here, if you see, there is a subscreen called reference. So what vendor we created? What is a vendor we created? 100644, right? 100644 we created. Company code is 1000 and purchasing organization is 1000. This is what we are creating. Now we are copying from the reference. Now enter. Now you see address is not copied here. See, we have to maintain the address separately. Okay, so I'll create a one separate another vendor. I'll create as Alliance Global. Okay, I'll create as Alliance Global company. Alliance Global Private Limited. This is the
But sir,
organization. Uh,
how could it possible that that name will be also copied for the create vendor with reference?
no, no,
Name
where
will
the
be
name?
not remain same.
No, no, name not copied, madam. Name not
Uh,
copied. No.
named also different, no? With
Name.
address.
That's what name is also not copied. That's why name is not copied.
Okay.
Name not copied. Okay. Now I'll maintain the address. Alliance Global number 2187 by 1. Number 2817 by 1. Okay. I'll maintain the address. First floor. First floor. First floor. What is other one it is having? First floor. Some Tilak Bazaar. I'll maintain as Tilak Bazaar. Tilak Bazaar. Tilak Bazaar. Okay. Same thing. Okay. Enter. Okay. Let me go back once. Postal code you can maintain. Postal code 110006. 110006. Region is Delhi. Region is Delhi. Region is Delhi. Okay, I maintained that. Now, if you go to the other screens, the data will be available already. Okay, so if you see here, see reconciliation account got copied already. Okay, cash management group is copied already. Okay, from the previous vendor, from the reference vendor, that got copied already. Okay, see payment terms got copied. Of course, wherever you want to change, you can change the data. You can change the data. Okay, see the order currency got copied, your terms of payment got copied, everything got copied. Okay, of course partner functions is from account group, that's okay, it got copied. Now you save the vendor. So this is how you create a vendor using a reference vendor. Okay, so that is the creating the vendor with a reference. Now the next one is, after a certain time you want to block a vendor. Let's say your vendor or supplier is not supplying good quality material. Okay, so I want to block that vendor. Okay, so there are two transactions here. One is for block, it is xk05. Okay, now for deletion it is xk06. So these are the two transactions we have. Okay, so let me show you how to block a vendor. Let's say I'll take this vendor. Okay, or let me take the new vendor 100646. Go to change mode. I'll take this vendor. Now I want to block this vendor. So how to do? Go to xk05. Block or unblock vendor. So enter the vendor number 100646. I want to block in this company code and in this purchase organization. Now enter. Okay, now here I'll maintain posting block. Okay, posting blocks means there is no invoicing should be happening. Invoice bill verification should happening, and all purchase organization and selected purchase organization. That means on the screen we entered this purchase organization, but the vendor may be existing in some other purchase organization also. So I want to block in all the purchase organizations this vendor. Okay, so that's one. Now save it. Now it has been blocked. Now when I create a PO purchase order for this vendor, you see what will happen. Okay, ME21N. Okay, so I'm trying to create a vendor purchase order with this vendor. So enter the vendor number, material, quantity. I am giving the quantity into this plant. Enter. Okay, enter purchase organizations, purchasing group. Enter. Okay, now what message you are getting? Poonam, what message you are getting? Hello?
It's a vendor block.
Vendor blocked. That means from this vendor you cannot do the procurement of the material. It's an error message. So that is so nobody can purchase any material from this vendor if you block the vendor. Okay, so this is how you will do the blocking of a vendor. Now deletion also you can do. You can mark for deletion. See, even though you blocked it, still the vendor is available in the system. You can see the vendor master. You cannot physically delete the vendor from the system. It will be available in the system. You have to block. Now, how to
But
do deletion? Uh, how to put
somehow we
delete?
need this vendor in emergency, and so we can also unblock this one.
Yes, yes. After certain time, again, if you want to do, you can do unblock also.
Okay.
Yes, can be done. Okay. Now the next one is deletion flag. XK06. Flag for deletion vendor. So here you enter the vendor, company code, purchase organization. Okay. So now here you flag for deletion. All areas, selected company codes, selected our purchasing organization. Okay. And all the deletion blocks you maintain here. So when you maintain this, after certain period, if they want to archive vendors, they can do this archive this way. Save it. So this flag for deletion has been done. After this, so at a certain period, you can delete the vendor from the system only when you make deletion flag. Okay. So once you make the deletion flag, they will be deleting the vendor from the system. That is also possible. So for that, first you have to put for flag for deletion. Flag for deletion means we are giving the input to the system that we can physically delete this vendor from the system. That is what. The previous one, the block is only just for postings relevant block. Okay. So that is the how to block or delete a vendor. This is the one. Okay. So vendor master configuration. Once we complete all the topics, we will be going to the configuration part. Okay. So this is all about your vendor master. Okay.